Musclehead Revolution with Kevin McCullough.
For some reason, I do not believe you are making a connection yet with the audience.
Thank you, Simon. Kevin McCullough, glad to be with you. It is the MuscleHead Revolution V-Cast in the home of the free and the land of the brave, home of the free. However you like to think about it, it's not what it once was when life started this morning. Now let me tell you what's going to come up in just the next couple of days. First of all, welcome to the V-Cast. We did not have a normal show on the broadcast today because we were busy helping children that need help in other parts of the world through Compassion International, a cause I believe strongly in. As a result, we missed some of the big headlines of the day, but that's why the V-Cast exists. We get you caught up on what you did not hear about elsewhere. For instance, the latest in the oil world. Not only did we have Exxon reporting $8.4 billion in earnings this last week, it looks like Chevron earnings are going to soar to $40 to $4 billion over the first quarter of this year. And it looks like Shell, finally, an oil company talking about doing something good for America, will unveil the plan for the biggest refinery in the U.S. ever. Finally, a refinery coming to the U.S. that will help reduce the price of gasoline. Believe it or not, the crunch we feel right now has very little to do with the price of oil. It has to do with the fact that demand is so high and the refineries can only punch out so much at a time. Okay, that's one of the stories. The big story coming up Monday is going to be that it looks like Latinos all across the continental United States, in Chicago, Los Angeles, Phoenix, New York, Detroit, all over the place, are going to call for what they're calling a brownout. They're going to not show up for work. In fact, the AP, Reuters, both reporting this afternoon, immigration advocates saying a national boycott and march is planned for May 1. That's Monday. Will flood America's streets with millions of Latinos to demand amnesty for illegal immigrants and shake the ground under Congress as it debates reform. Such a massive turnout could make for the largest protest since the civil rights era of the 1960s, though not all Latinos are comfortable with such militancy, fearing a backlash against middle America. They're the common sense Latinos that are talking here. You know who's not common sense? George Rodriguez, a union official who's helping to organize these rallies. He says, in his own words, and I quote, "We're going to close down Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Tucson, Phoenix, and Fresno. They're going to shut us down. That's the threat from people who don't have the right to be here. Explain that to me." He goes on to say, "We want full amnesty, full legalization for anybody who is here illegally. That is the message that's going to be played out across the country on May 1. Wasn't that fine and dandy? People that don't even have the right to stand in this country legally, those who are in violation of our current laws, are going to thumb their nose in our face. Some would say give America the proverbial middle finger. Why? Because they want the laws to be written to allow for their law breaking. Does not make sense. And people that listen to the Musclehead Revolution, that are faithful muscleheads, that understand that the reason that we follow the rules of law is because that is what God designed society to do, you know that this is illegal, you know that this is immoral, you know that it is unjust and cannot be allowed to stand. But on May 1, this coming Monday, that's what's going to happen. There are some other people raising trouble about this. California Senate, they've blessed the immigrant brownout for the day, and Latin Hollywood actors are, of course, backing the action. One thing I wasn't ready for today was to hear this. If you don't understand what they're saying, I don't either. It's because it's the Spanish translation of the national anthem. The only challenge to this is they've changed significant meanings of much of the song. It doesn't represent what the words to the Star Spangled Banner mean. Therefore, it cannot be my national anthem. This is not the American national anthem. Though they may have decided to sing it in Spanish and to put these words with this melody, it will not stand. And President Bush, for the first time in weeks, actually got something right on the immigration debate. He's been as bad as anybody of recent, but he did come out today saying that, hey, the national anthem is in English. The national language of America is English, and the national anthem should be sung in English. I don't know where all this is going to lead, but I'd be glad to hear from you about your thoughts coming up about the May 1 work stoppage that illegal immigrants are calling for across America. Remember, in the words of George Rodriguez, they're going to shut down Los Angeles, Chicago, New York, Phoenix, Tucson, and Fresno. Isn't that comforting? And they want our blessing. Doesn't make any sense. Kevin McCullough, the V-Cast with you here on MuscleHeadRevolution.com. You can check out the podcast of the recently broadcast shows that we do. Keep them right here on the page. Just check the sidebar for the Pod Plus link. And we're back on Monday, full 15-hour weeks, full 15 hours of the week for the Musclehead Revolution, taking place live in New York, WMCA 570 and 970. We'll be all over this story come Monday, and right here on MuscleHeadRevolution.com. That's it for the V-Cast. Have a great weekend. We'll check back in with you soon.